From time to time on Maine Social Justice, I present things that were done by the youth in the state of Maine. And last night I traveled down to Mount Ararat High School in Topsham, and I saw a play called Le Moulin, which is French for the mill. It's about a strike in 1887 that occurred in a spinning mill down there, and most of the workers were young French girls of French descent, all from Quebec, and there were also young, mostly French men that did the heavy work. The play was written by twins, Hilary and Morgana Warner-Evans. They're seniors, and they wrote quite a play. They did the research on this event. It was an actual event that happened, and I think they did a tremendous job. Now, what you're going to see is not going to be a full-fledged play where the actors have all memorized their lines and full costume regalia. This is going to be what is called an official reading, in which the actors carry their scripts around with them and read the lines. But still, it was very well done, and the reason they had to do this way was there was no time, and of course these days not much resources in order to do the full-fledged plays. Hopefully the Warner-Evans twins will get a chance to do this again. In the audience, I found a friend of mine, Rosalie Tyler Paul. She's an organizer for the American Friends Service Committee. That's a Quaker social and peace activist group, and from Maine. And she said that she was aware that Morgana had been doing a lot of social justice work through her music and her writing talents. And I really commend these young people for what they're doing. They encourage me to continue trying to bring to you the things that I do concerning social justice. And without further ado, here is the play, Le Moulin. Let them tell you what it's all about. So, would we start off with Morgana?
This is a play about the Cabot Mill in Brunswick, and basically a wealthy girl named Mary is sent into the mill by her father's friend, Benjamin Green, who is kind of like the manager of the mill. And the mule spinners are about ready to strike, and Benjamin Green wants her to go in and convince them not to strike.
Hilary, say, just what inspired you to write a play like this?
Well, originally we wanted to do it for the One Act Festival a couple years ago when our school was first reviving that tradition, which unfortunately is no longer right now, but and we wanted to do something, I think, that had to do with like social criticism and something historical too, and so we thought like labor history might be a nice idea. And I was thinking that we had this old cotton mill in Brunswick, and so it would be neat to set our play in Brunswick.
And just because I'm curious, did any of you have family that were working in the mills?
No,
or? No personal history there.
No, our parents are from other states. So.
Directors here at Mount Ararat, and I'd like to welcome you to our presentation of Le Moulin, which is this year's one-act play produced by the Mount Ararat Stage Company. We're doing something quite different from what we've done in the past. First, what you're about to see is a staged reading, which means the actors will be carrying scripts in their hands. With limited time and resources, we've taken what we call a workshop approach to this play, which focuses more on exploration and development instead of full-blown production. In other words, this is still very much a work in progress. Secondly, this is an historical drama set just down the road in Brunswick at the former Cabot Mill, now Fort Andros, hence the title of the show, Le Moulin, which means the mill in French. In the 19th century, the Cabot Mill employed hundreds of textile workers, and many of them were French-Canadian immigrants who struggled to make a living on low wages. In 1887, these workers decided to go on strike, and that conflict serves as the backdrop of our show. And finally, and most especially, this is an original play, carefully researched, written, and revised by two very gifted Manarat seniors, Hilary and Morgana Warner-Evans. They've been developing this script for well over a year now, and what you're about to see is simply the present stage of what's been a long but rewarding journey. They've taken it through multiple rounds of public reading and revision, and we want to thank all of you who have come to these readings, contributed ideas, and supported this project along the way. You know, it's true that no play can realize itself without an audience, so we want to thank you very much indeed for joining us tonight. Enjoy the show.
Let me get this straight. You want me to send my daughter, my only daughter, to go work in the Cabot mill among those foreigners? The answer is no, Benjamin.
But Thomas, the mule spinners are about ready to strike. If we just stand aside and do nothing, I'll be out of a job. Now, the only solution I can see
Is to send my daughter into that mill? Absolutely not.
Thomas, I'll pay her. She'll get $7 a week.
$7 a week? You're asking me to send her in there for $7 a week when she could lose her life? There's no telling what kind of diseases are being spread by the workers.
Don't be selfish, Thomas. The more money the Cabot Manufacturing Company can make, the more we can invest into building up the enterprise, and the more the workers will get.
Selfish? How dare you say such things about me?
Is everything all right in here? I thought I heard shouting.
Benjamin wants to send Mary into the mill just to help the workers.
That's not true, and you know it. Charlotte, the mule spinners are getting ready to strike. We have to send someone in to work who can report back to us.
And you want to send Mary?
Yes, he does, and I've expressly forbidden it. She could be injured, or worse.
Charlotte, I can't think of anything else to do.
You're right, Thomas. It is dangerous. But on the other hand, think of what better way Mary could learn than by experiencing how they live.
I agree. In this age, men with wealth just can't sit back and ignore the masses. We have to do all we can to help those less fortunate.
I just don't... Well, I'll think about it.
Good night, Thomas. I have to be home.
Benjamin is your friend, Thomas. You have to help him. Besides, think of how good this would be for Mary.
I know, I worry about her, that's all. I guess Benjamin is right. Can't just sit back and do nothing.
But I can't work in that mill, Father. I've never even been to that part of town.
Don't worry, Mary. It's for the best.
You wouldn't want to let your family down, would you?
No, Father.
Supper is ready. Thank you, Annie.
You're cheating us, I tell you.
Maybe we can go without flour this week. I can make our bread from cornmeal instead.
The price of cornmeal has gone up as well, Mama. I don't know how to expect the 12 of us to live off $48 a week when the rent is $7 every month.
They don't expect it. There are plenty of other workers who are willing to take our jobs.
Well, they won't get mine. No matter what the pay, a mill job is better than begging on the streets.
How can you say that when you know we deserve so much better? How can you stand by and let them take advantage of us?
Isabel, some of us in the mule spinning room are thinking of striking. You want $15 a week, the same as the workers for the Bates Company in Lewiston.
I hope you know that striking is a sin. Pierre, think of how Mama and Papa would feel if you lost your job. We owe it to them to send our pay home.
Jeanne is right. You know the harvest in Quebec was terrible last year.
You would lose your job for sure, Pierre.
Well, I'm with you, Pierre. I'll stand by my fellow workers any day over the bosses.
You certainly won't do so as long as you're living under my roof, Emile.
But Uncle Gerard, losing our jobs is the risk we have to take. I'm not going to stand by and be a scab while the other men are striking.
I am not a scab. Talk to anyone in this neighborhood about your troublemaking union, and you'll see that I am right.
Shh, cousin Bones are sleeping.
And so should we.
Adema.
All clear to you? Any questions?
No, sir.
Excellent. Now, when you come into work tomorrow, I want you to listen to the girls talk and report anything about the mule spinners to your father, and he'll see to it that it gets to me.
Yes, sir. But what am I to do if they're speaking in French?
You'll have to approach them, and then they'll include you in the conversation. That won't be too hard now, Willie.
No, sir.
Excellent. I'll see you at 6 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yes, sir.
And Mary,
Yes?
don't let on that you know me. It would seem suspicious.
Yes, sir.
Look, there's a new girl here.
I wonder where she's from.
She looks nervous.
We could talk to her. Comment vous appeler?
Oh, you don't speak French?
No.
What's your name? Where are you from?
I've lived in Brunswick my whole life.
Brunswick. You're lucky you could get a job here at all. Most people prefer the immigrants who work for pins and steal our jobs.
I'm not stealing your job. I'm trying to work for a living, same as you. Well, anyhow, we'll make some fine strike breakers for the mule spinners. What are they striking over?
They want the same pay as the workers in the Bates Mill in Lewiston. Personally, I don't wonder why they're striking. It's simply disgraceful how they have to live off what they're paid now.
Well, maybe Mr. Freeland can't afford to pay them anymore.
Well, if he can afford a fine house in Boston, then he can probably afford to raise the pay of the mule spinners to $6 a week.
Get over here, lazy girl. These bobbins are full.
I'm sorry, sir. It's just that I'm so tired.
Well, you look fine to me. Do you want to keep your job or not?
Sir,
Answer me.